to church once again. So today, the last Sunday of February and the last series on this our love talk. Today we are looking at God's design, part three. I mean part five. Abi, part four. Abi, God's design, part four. Is you know confuse me. It's part four. Now go and check. Starting from the lens of trauma, down to other ones. Yes, last week was part three. Now preparing for marriage. So today we are looking at oneness. Just like the scripture we used last week, Genesis 2:24. It said, therefore shall a man. What's the issue? No, tell me now. And therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. He said, a man shall leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. So I'm going to say that even if some of the messages now, maybe you don't need them now, you can keep them. There's what they call residual knowledge. When we are started reading on marriage, I don't know if I even think I was going to get married next year. So there are things you can just keep, even if you think they are not for you now. So today we are looking at God's design part four. I mean part four, right? And then oneness, God's design part four. We are looking at the topic of oneness. Say, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. The Bible says they shall become one flesh. In mathematics, one plus one is two. But in marriage, one plus one is what? Is one. Once we begin to have plans that is different from each other, you want to do your things differently. I'm not saying that you don't have a personal life in marriage, but I'm saying that when it comes to core purpose, major things, you come together. Imagine you guys have money to build one house. I say, no, let's divide it. I want to build my own here. I want to build my own there. So in marriage, one plus one is one, meaning that we come together to achieve one purpose. I say wherever oneness is missing, there will hardly be a lasting or meaningful success, especially in marriage. Wherever oneness is missing. And you cannot really have oneness when there is no compatibility. Compatibility is when they have the same mindset. It is when you share the same value system together. That's when you can have oneness. If you do not share the same value together, then that concept of oneness will not find expression in whatever you're doing. So you can really not achieve oneness if there's no compatibility. If you guys are not compatible, you know, I saw a video and a man of God was saying something and it just kind of, throw me back to something that's happened I've seen constantly, like two times at least. So we used to have meetings in this particular state. I don't want to mention the name. And then we used to have meetings on Saturdays in somebody's house. We used to have meetings. Then this particular lady walked up to me one day and then she said many things that she was dating somebody. I think that was like the first or second time I was seeing her in the meeting. Then she told me she was dating somebody. She complained many things that she said about the relationship that we need a lot of fixing and adjusting. So I told her, you need to do this, have this conversation with this guy, many things. My brothers and sisters, the next time I will see her, she's getting married to that guy. In my head, I was like, because those things, see, some things what some guys they do when they have done something that is bad, that you guys need a conversation to trash out things, you now bring in and be proposing. Don't accept a proposal when there are things that you need to talk that you guys have not really settled and have a conversation on it. The next thing I saw this lady was getting married to that brother wedding. I was like, well, I never even talk, you never even tell you tell me you guys have not had conversation about this thing. That was all. So since then I've not really heard from that person again. Another scenario happened. We were going somewhere and I saw somebody on the road. We had a conversation. Then later on, this person had messaged me one time ago that I wanted me to do this for her. Then I gave her the assignment to do, but she was not really serious. Another thing shows that when you are not serious with discipleship, it will have effect in other areas of your life. So she messaged me one day. I think on one of these apps, I just saw a message. She wrote plenty things, and how the guy that she was with was cheating, and she suspected the allegations were very strong, cheating and anything that she said. We saw she shared the same story. So I said you need to have a serious conversation with this guy. You're a Christian, at least to the best of my knowledge. I don't think you want to go ahead with somebody that is cheating like or doing all these kind of things. Nigerian brothers and sisters, the next thing I will see, they are getting married again. I've said all this to say that you see sometimes when we see things like, but I prayed, before I got married to this guy, or this lady. But look at now, we are married now many times, many times. Many times God showed you a signal, but you rejected it. God was showing you a red flag, but say, no be red flag, but na still. Na still be this, no be red flag. God was showing you things of, see, God will never leave you without a witness. I thought this thing before. I usually share with somebody. I say, if you pray about a person, God, is this person the right person? I'm feeling one kind in my mind that this guy is not the right person. One of the ways God will show you if that person is for you or not is God will begin to unveil their character to you. He will begin to unveil their character to you. God will now be showing you if it's something you can work with or it's not something you cannot work with. I'll give you a practical example. You are praying about this brother or this sister. Lord, I don't know. I just feel something in my mind. This guy is good. He comes to church. He prays, but something is in my mind. I cannot lay my hands. As you begin to pray, God will now begin to unveil his character to you. His inner character that is not showing you. An example is that both of you can go for a wedding. And while at the wedding, they serve you food, they serve other people. The way you will grab the waiter and shout for the waiter, that's God answering your prayer, showing you. God will begin to instigate characters that will show you the kind of person that he is. Scenarios will begin to happen that will unveil his hidden character. It's one of the ways God shows you. God will not show you, you have seen it. It's now for you to determine if you want to go ahead with what you have seen or what you have not seen. So there are people where there are things to trash out, but because the person brought engagement ring and because you want to validate that you say if you get married, you collect it without trashing out important conversations that you need to trash out. So there are people who they have gotten married now, but they will telling you that, but I prayed now. He's a church person. I remember talking to a sister, called her a sister. She's not married again now. And she told me then that she was serious with the Lord. You know, when she got married to this person, the marriage did not work. She was serious with the Lord. In fact, she said at the age of other 21 or 22, she was already earning well in bank. She was earning serious, doing things by herself. So when I was having a conversation with her, I said, so how do you end up with this person? She said, according to her, if my memory serves me right now, she said something like, I think people spoke to her, people wonder, but she was not seeing. You know, say love, when you take alcohol, now you go to shack. Person when no drink, you no go shack am. He said people outside were showing her. I think even God spoke to her something, but she did not was she was not able to pick what God was saying to her. We saw a movie during the week. I think I even shared it on my WhatsApp. That is something for people to watch. This lady came into this guy came into this establishment, and this guy is a playboy. His own design is to go in and be looking for sisters he will sleep with. Then he came into an establishment, saw a particular lady. They used to call her pastor in that establishment. And the lady was praying, and you know how sometimes you can be religious, but you are not a discerning person. Do you know people can be very prayerful, but they cannot discern moments. So this lady was, prayerful person, and then this guy had a bet with his friend that is going to sleep with this lady no matter what. So he found out that the sister was a fanatic person. So he started, doing scriptures, we talking, having conversation of Bible with her. The psalm you posted this morning, oh, he blessed me so much. They'll bring out the phone, they'll be studying. But God is so kind. Like I said, God never leave himself without a witness. This lady had a dream one day. And what was this dream? He was drinking, he drank water, the water was clean. And then all of a sudden, he vomited the water. And the water was no longer clean. It was red, like blood. That was a sign already. Now, to show me that God will never leave you without a witness, immediately he woke up from that dream. The first person who called him was that guy. You see, the things are aligning together, but he refused. He went ahead. Cut long story short, the guy finally slept with her. Now, there are people who will see this kind of scenario and say, is God not faithful? And they will, no, sometimes we hold God accountable for our own foolishness. God has already shown us before that this thing you're about to go into, look at what it is. So I said all this to say that there are certain conversations that you need to have. There are certain conversations that you need to have before you say, oh, I do. Because you need to be compatible for you to be able to achieve what I call oneness. If you don't share the same value, there will only be problem. That's why sometimes I also believe that there are two Christians who may not even be able to get married together. If you know that certain core values, maybe the way you see life, though as believers, we should be transformed and see life, almost the same. But human being, we have our own dealings. You can decide, I don't like to do things like this. I don't like. So if there are certain things that are not, if you don't have share the same value, for instance, how do some people say what they call this thing that how they do children now. Is this soft parenting? What do they call it? I forgot it. Gentle parenting. Say, I don't like to beat my children. Oh. When I was small, they beat me. So now I don't want to pass the trauma to my children. You see? So some other person will say, no, for our family, then they change that for us. So there are little things that when you look at, if you know that these things are not aligning, maybe you should not go ahead. It may sound very simple. See, there are things that are very simple that you think they are very simple in culture, but when you begin to stay with that person, you find that this is not simple. It's not as simple as I think it was. So where oneness is missing, there will hardly be a lasting, meaningful success, especially in marriage. Another thing, borrowed trauma of other people's bad marriages can poison a person's oneness mindset long before they ever get married. Borrowed trauma of other people's bad marriages can poison a person's oneness mindset long before they ever get married. When all the things you're always looking at are the blogs where they're always talking about how one man brought his wife to abroad. The wife was not sleeping with somebody else. So the man deported the wife and said, Omo, to carry woman go abroad now. Because you have consumed other people's trauma experience. You have consumed what other people are saying. So there are people who are already creating a back door for themselves. They are not married yet, oh, but they're already creating a back door. A lady was writing online the other day that we are going to sign prenup before we get married so that if this and this happen, my husband is going to go with the children, me I will go alone. She's not married yet. Probably maybe she does not even have a man yet, but she's already creating a back door. I can assure you that any back door you create before marriage, when you get into marriage, you surely use it. Any back door you create before what marriage, when you get into it, you surely use it. So this person, probably because of the things she has consumed concerning people who are divorcing, currently outside the country, divorcing are like cash out. If you check some of the richest people now, who are ladies, some of them, they got that wealthy because of what? They divorced the person you are with. So so for some people now, divorce na cash out scheme. Just look for somebody wey get po ten tial, date am or marry am for some time, then divorce. So sometimes you consume those things consis ten tly and you begin to create a safe space for yourself. How do I do this? How do I do this that my husband will not know? In fact, like I said last week, there are people who buy landed properties, who will build houses, who will do many things, and their partner will not be aware of it. Or you want to live a life where maybe you saw your parents, your dad is always hiding money somewhere because once your mommy is washing your daddy's clothes and you saw the money there, pa, you will carry the money. Or your mommy is not even aware of your daddy's ATM card. I mean, he's not aware of the ATM pin. Say, please give us money. Your daddy will go to the ATM by himself. Even if he's sick, he will look for a drug and go to the ATM. If he's dying, nobody knows. He say, bring the ATM, come outside, go press am, go carry POS come. That kind of life, is it the kind of thing that you want to live? So we must understand that when you don't have compatibility, when you guys are not compatible, oneness will hardly work. And also when you borrow other people's trauma experience, you see how they are doing things, maybe your uncle, your auntie. Like I said the other day, I know somebody who said that me, when I have properties, this is not a story I heard, I know the person. Me, when I'm married, when I have properties, my husband, I'm not sure I will allow my husband to know how much I'm earning, how much I have in my account. How much? See, that's why I said that some people think that they are the good people that God is restraining certain people from. Meanwhile, they are the bad people God is restraining people from. God will not allow his son or his daughter to come into your hands because he needs to work on you. This guy is saying, me, I cannot allow my partner to know how much. I'm not sure. And why? If you have conversation with her based on the information she has consumed, either from her parents or from her sister, she has seen things that's happened to people. So she brought that particular thing. See, you need to understand that your partner is not your parents. Your husband now is not your father the way your father was behaving, neither is your wife your mother the way your mother was behaving, and neither are they the people you have read about, whether online or anywhere. So when you borrow other people's trauma, you heard, when you are doing wedding now, when you're about to get married, people will call you and inject you their own trauma from everywhere. Your father will bring their own, your mother, one uncle from somewhere. They don't used to tell women everything, you must be careful, all sort of things, and you carry all those baggage into marriage. There is no how where you can do those kind of things where oneness can hardly find expression. One thing that encourages oneness is to manage is to that encourages oneness is to do marriage the Bible way and not from borrowed experiences laced with trauma. One thing that encourages oneness is to do marriage the Bible way and not from borrowed experiences, laced with trauma. You know that as a man here, there are things you be doing for your wife. People outside will be judging you. In Yoruba, there's what they call bewudani. Do you know what bewudani means? An husband that has been charmed. See, largely in Africa, once you see somebody that they say, that woman don't charm my husband. See, let me say 70 or 75% of the time is because that home is experiencing happiness. Once you see people say, they don't charm that man. See the way the man they do. They watch. You see, we grew up saying many, many things that are very funny. I understand, but we should be a better generation. Some of us here, I'm not sure say your papa know your school. I don't know if they say you and your daddy should say sit down and do what's your best color, what best for where, person wey no even know school wey you go na go know your best color. So and then we now complain when they do like 4 mothers day, every year, and never do mothers day this year. and they get like 20, fathers and only one. But so we're not comparing all these things. You see, we have to change the narrative of the fact that the children is just the mother that will take care of it. There's nothing. The only thing that a mother can do for a baby that you may not be able to do is to breastfeed them. Any other thing that a man can do, that a woman can do to their babies, the man can also do it. If he pack shit, if you clean their, you can do other things. You must understand that you need to be involved in your family as much as your wife. Is your family. Both of you need to put your hands on deck. So that's why I said one thing that encourages oneness is to do marry the Bible way and not from borrowed experiences laced with trauma. Because there are many cultural way of doing marriage that, see, in this generation that we are going to now, e no go last again. Many cultural way of doing marriage, like, oh, e no go work again. Like I've usually seen her, and I've been saying it for the past 5 years. Look at, I saw banks the other day, top bank, like I think in Nigeria or Africa, women are like 10 of the banks. Now women dey head am. Gone are the days wey dem say women are always in the house. Omo, you no dey work like that again o. People can even work from home sef, and there will be any mother that is going out every day. Do you get? So one thing that encourages oneness is to do marry the Bible way and not from borrowed experiences laced with trauma. Not because you saw them, your dad usually the way your daddy behaves in the house. That's how we behave in our house also. You are behaving like that now. You're a man, you're in the house, you no even fit on stove. And some people are proud as I dey like this, and na only bread I dey chop, indomie, I no even sabi cook. Hey, I wan go marry a 9 to 5 woman wey dey work. So in marriage, we come together, we are one together, we put hands together, and we do things together. See, the danger of borrowed experiences is that it promotes suspicion. The danger of borrowed experiences is that it promotes suspicion. Number one, you hear people saying things like protect yourself, oh, never depend too much. Always have a backup plan. Marriage is kinikon, many things. So the danger of borrowed experiences is that it will begin to create suspicion. People will start telling you things. No behave like that, oh. This and that, oh. Maybe you and your wife, you join money together to do things. You're not going to reach somewhere. Have somebody join money with the man, and then the man run away with the money and go and marry another woman. You not be afraid. A man of God shared this thing I want to say now. He shared it so I can say it. He said that he read online one time. So the wife usually travel to a particular place to go and buy goods. So he now read online where they say women who travel to those places they usually go and sleep with men. He's a pastor. The pastor is a very big church in this country. See, all of a sudden, when the wife now travel to that place, he didn't come back with, sorry, calling, where are you now? Where are you? He was afraid based on what he read. A pastor, he was saying it on their podcast. Because so when he was not dissecting, he now said, because I have read consistently that people who travel to that place, when you don't come back early, and because many people have shared their testimonies. See, testimonies as a way of strengthening your conviction, either a negative one or a positive one. So he was not afraid that. So the wife was just looking at him like, do you think? So sometimes not because the person is a bad person, but you are only as strong as what you feed on. If you feed on negativity, that's what you'll be consuming consistently, and that's what you'll be saying. So even if a pastor that has been pastoring for years can feel like that, how much more of you that you're not even serious with your devotion? So the danger of broad experiences is that it promotes suspicion. You just suspect. One time online like that, something real on, I don't know if you are aware, where many people came out and said that people were sharing things, how that now some ladies, I think they came and said how that when their boyfriend called them and they say they are sleeping, is because they are with another man doing something that God cannot do with those men. Now people now started, everybody now, they now started the trend. You reach out to your baby in the night, if you no reply, you know that is there. I tell you that if you see relationship that this thing brought down because of what somebody read online. Are you getting my point now? So you are only as strong as the things that you feed on. If you feel that the parent of your marriage is not the kind of marriage that you want to reproduce, the best thing you can do for yourself is to start reading or viewing the kind of marriage that you want to reproduce. Not, okay, some people, they like to service their trauma. I'm not sure some people want to come out of this trauma. They like to service it. Anytime somebody says something about, yes, it happened to me too, they'll be, some people prefer to service their trauma. See, we're in a generation of podcasts. If your goal is to service your trauma, podcast people will help you amplify your trauma. And if your own is that you want God to heal you, God can heal you. But I've seen and I've observed that certain people prefer to service their trauma. Make their trauma give them global landscape than them actually getting healing to that trauma. So the danger of broad experience is that it promotes suspicion. You go just suspect your partner. Then there's something I wrote here. I say, because if trauma is not healed, it becomes theology. If trauma is not healed, it becomes theology. So you see some people, what they teach about marriage is from the point of the failure that they are seeing. With all due respect, check some of the people who is doing men haters online. You know, I saw a video of somebody who is very vocal, only for somebody to go and look for her video years ago where she was crying because somebody broke her heart. So now every advice she's giving is from the lens of the heartbreak that they gave to her. So some of the people who are being married online, go and check some of them. Either because of bad marriages, experiences that they've had. So trauma has now become their theology. Why? Because of the bad experience that they've had. So when trauma is not dealt with, it will become what? Theology. Even some people on the pulpit, some things that they are saying is because of the things that they have gone through. Say, save your money, keep your money one side, oh. Then they show woman all those things. Oh. Because of maybe somebody, he showed something, took advantage of. So all of those things, if you not pay attention to your trauma, you see that it will become a theology and you begin to teach other people from that lens. Oneness is built on compatibility and not on butterflies. Oneness is built on compatibility and not on butterflies. Amos 3:3. Compatibility and not what? On compatibility is the ability of two individuals to function in unity because their core foundations agree. Compatibility is the ability of two individuals to function in unity because their core foundations agree. Oneness is built on compatibility and not on butterflies. Amos 3:3. Do you know that? Let me give an example. If a guy walk up to you today and as you are going out, and this guy is tall, slim, driving SUV, very, tall, dark, the kind of person you really want. The guy is talking to you, and butterfly, you guys have been talking for like 2 weeks, the conversation is going well, you guys, all of a sudden, you now find out that this guy is a ritualist. If you're a genuine Christian, will that feeling still continue? The feeling go just wash off. I'm talking to genuine Christians now. The feeling go just wash off. You see that you cannot build what? Oneness on what? On when you don't have compatibility. Like I said, the oneness is built on compatibility, not on butterfly. So just because you have butterfly for that guy for the past 2 weeks does not mean you go ahead with him because you do not share in the same value. That's what I'm trying to say. So butterfly is not enough to sustain things when we are not compatible in our core values. I found it very funny, with all due respect, that somebody will come and say they fall in love with somebody that is not a Christian. Once I find out, before I even get married, once I found out that your name is not even corresponding with a Christian name, and I ask you, say you're not a Christian, there's nowhere that feeling will ever come up from. Because you must have built a garrison that there are certain people that you cannot have anything to do with when it comes to relationship. All this I fell in love with the person is because you gave them your ears. Are you getting my point? So there are things that will never happen if you know that this person, you don't set that barricade. Say, when it comes to this people, I may carry your wallet go. So oneness is built on compatibility and not on butterflies. Just because when I see you, you are my, according to you are my spec, you are thought, and you be thief. Does that mean we go ahead? May come visit my parents because they may thief their phone. You're a thief. So it works on what? Because we are compatible on our core values. If you are not compatible, there's no how oneness will happen. There's no oneness to do what will happen. So, and I define it that compatibility is the ability of two individuals to function in unity because their core foundations agree. Because their core foundation agree. Let me tell you something. See, nobody, one of the ways that Satan put people into wrong relationship, if from my observation and my experience, I've observed two major ways. The first one is that this one I've had a lot of experience is that when somebody that is not supposed to be your partner is coming around your life, whether it's Satan that will close your mouth, you will not talk to the right people around you who can counsel you and say, this guy is not the person. Satan will isolate you from the right people who can talk to you. Satan will always do what? Isolate you from the right people who can talk to you. That's the first thing. Because Satan cannot take advantage of you if you're in the midst of believers. He will first isolate you first. He will just take you out. Now, when you light a charcoal, when there are many charcoal there, like if you remove one of the charcoal and put in one place, there will still be light there. But give it some time, the light will fade off. That's how Satan isolates people. He will isolate people and find that you are not able to talk to the right people that can give you the right counsel. Number one. Number two, Satan will package somebody that will always be given to the right spot. Maybe you like flower, the person will buy 4 flowers. See, nobody sabi treat person right pass the wrong people. Many times. The wrong people, somewhere they shake your head. The wrong people, nobody, they know is how Satan. It's not that you will not see the shege later. You will first see enjoy it first But later, you will not see the shaggy of that wrong person. So just take that. So five cores or areas of compatibility. Spiritual compatibility. Spiritual compatibility. Second Corinthians 6:14. Spiritual compatibility. You have no business marrying somebody that is not a believer. Please draw your ear and say, you have no business marrying what? Somebody that is not a. Okay, Second Corinthians 6:14. And see all these things that we say. My father was a Christian, my mother was a Muslim, and they got married together. I can assure you that your daddy was not a serious Christian. The Bible told us, let the Bible be true and let even your daddy be a liar. The Bible said what? That you should not be unequally yoked. So, and they don't have any problem, they don't have anything. That's not what the scripture teaches. Your daddy is not the standard. The word of God is standard. You don't have any business. We do not hate people of other religion, of other faiths, but when it comes to getting married, the Bible is very clear on it. I'm falling in love with somebody that's not a Christian. Can I go ahead? I've been praying about it. God is answering you through me now. God said no. God is answering you through me now. He say what? No. So, can I marry? I'm going to change the person. Thank you. Aboki, dollar changer. I'm going to change the person. The person will have. Hey! So, you have no business getting married to somebody who is not a Christian. Even the ones that are Christians said there are some of them that their Christianity is leg over, is shaky. It's shaky. It's leg over. Talk more of somebody that is not a believer. How do you guys even come in contact? How are you guys even together and be doing all those things? Do you get some of these things because you don't have discipline? When you don't have discipline, you enter. When you don't have principles of the things that you follow, these are the kind of things. See, if you're a person without a principle, you will fall into ditch a lot. As a Christian, there must be certain principle and things. See, everybody should not have the access to your ears. You know that this person is not serious with God. This person, you should not give them. See, don't rate yourself too much like that too. Boys with sweet mouth, when they handle you, you go forget say are you praying in tongues. Before you know, you are saying, I'm not, I don't even know, I don't even know. They don't get you with that. So everybody should not have access to your ear. Before you know, they don't get you with that. Hey, don't they send you voice over 10 o'clock in the night? I don't even know again, pastor. You know, so so they must not have access to your life. So people very well that this person, hmm, you are enjoying the attention now. When did this thing will come? And the worst part is that when they enjoy all this attention, the pastor is not aware. When problem now come, the pastor is aware of the problem. Hey, I laugh in advance. Spiritual compatibility. So you must be sure that there is. See, even if you are spiritual than them, because if you read the story of God's servant Abayi Adebuye, the wife gave her life to Christ, was serious, but you must see that they want to get serious. You must see. I know somebody in this Abuja some years ago when I came to Abuja, somebody called me and said, "Please, I'd like you to baptize somebody in tongues for me," and then baptize the guy in tongues. I found out that it was a senior police person. Now, the person who called me, she was already a serious Christian. Now the guy baptized in tongue was just starting his faith, but today they are married and the guy is very very serious. In fact, when we have conversation, when the guy comes out and we have conversation, I dey forget say the guy na police because he's not even like he's very serious with his faith. So I'm saying that there are people that you may in your work with God, you may be ahead of them, but you see how they want to grow. That guy always coming from, I was staying in Dawaki then. He would drive from Seoul and come to my house, pick me to Dawaki, and we'll go for meeting and come back every Sunday, that period. You will see that this guy wants to go and he's showing now. So, spiritual compatibility. When we talk about spiritual compatibility, it's not just unbelievers. So, there are some Christians who cannot marry. Do you know there are some Christian brothers in church who still say that if they have not tasted the woman, I don't know whether na soup, human being, they ever taste the woman, they cannot go ahead. There are people, I've received many reports like that in church. So just because they are in church does not mean you can marry them. Unequally yoked, there are some believers who are unequally yoked. So you must be very careful. Number two, value compatibility. Value compatibility. Example, honesty, sexual boundaries, money management, parenting philosophy. Honesty, sexual boundaries, money management, parenting philosophy. Like I said, some people can say, me, I want to do gentle parenting. See, let me tell you about this matter. There are children you can do gentle parenting with. There are children you cannot. Don't be deceiving yourself. A man of God, I think it was, I'm saying this because he said it by himself, Pastor Enoch of Christ Embassy. in Abuja. He said that when they were growing up, he said the father did not beat the sister once because with the kind of sister that he had, he can do gentle parenting. He said, but with the kind of his own person, if you don't beat him, he won't turn out like this. You cannot do gentle parenting with everything. Daniel, leave now. Daniel, leave now. You see visitor in your house, they are eating. Daniel don't chop. Oh. You will not carry the spoon of the visitor. Ah, don't beat him. Don't beat him. Now, Daniel. Him not parenting, na only eye dey go look you. And they look you like this. you don't you don't know where we go. So all those even the places we are copying all this parenting from. Are you not seeing that somebody will just carry gun, enter a school and shoot everybody? Somebody will just enter and carry gun. You know, we just emotional stability, mental. Um, Nigeria is that anytime we want to copy something, we copy it to the extreme. No balance at all. No what? No balance. And also, I'm also not advocating that you beat your children like a mad dog. You get the way they go beat you, you no go know say na your papa be like go dey wish am death because the beating. If you see how they beat some children, I was watching a video I think last year how this woman beat this boy till this boy died. So you're not talking about so we must learn to stay in the middle. There's when to say collect small and stay in one place, and there's when to say sorry. Do you get? So we talk about compatibility, honesty, sexual boundary. Somebody is telling you that me I'm a Christian, but once you hear but run away. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Me I'm a Christian, but it's in my heart. You know this kind of talk. I'm a Christian, but it's in my the Bible says to not forsake the gathering of brethren. Me I'm a Christian, but I don't believe in organized religion. But you won't make Nigeria organized. I'm a Christian, but I don't believe in when you hear those things. So values, compatibility, parenting philosophy, money management. You know, some people their name na yafu yafu. You know what yafu yafu? Small money they have now, they will blow it away. And some people too, they are dealing with poverty mindset. They cannot even enjoy and eat like this. That's so you must look at this thing. Value mindset. Number 3, vision compatibility, life goals, career ambition, location preference. Now that we are in the system of Japa, you want to travel out of this country and somebody don't want to travel out, you guys may not be able to work. That's the truth. I want to go to Japan. No, me, I want to stay in Lugbe. So vision compatibility. I gave an example last week. Imagine being a pastor and you want to marry a model that is always on bikini. So imagine your members coming to church on Sunday and somebody is selling magazine beside the church. So your mama is on bikini like this. Ah, so do you get? So vision compatibility. They are just things you know that this one will not work. We are not condemning people, but even in vision, there are vision that you just say this no go fit align. Let's go our separate way without fight. So vision compatibility, location preference, lifestyle expectations, life goals, career ambition. All those things you need to look into them. Emotional compatibility. Emotional compatibility. Number 4, emotional compatibility, how conflict is handled, communication style, willingness to apologize, emotional regulation. In your house, I don't know some of you, probably you've not heard your father and your mother say sorry before. The way your mother will say sorry, Joshua, sorry sorry Joshua, go collect 2 meat again inside pot. That's how they say sorry. Some people they cannot open their mouth, but we need to change those things. We need to change those things. In fact, this Gen Alpha generation, wey na Gen wetin dey call them, those one you go say sorry tire, sorry na water for there. So we must learn. So when we talk about emotional compatibility, we talk about how do you handle conflict, communication style, willingness to apologize. I said it the other day that if you don't know how to communicate, you'll not be able to handle conflict. You'll not be able to handle conflict when you don't know how to have conversation. This has happened. You must learn how to have what? Conversation. So emotional compatibility. Emotional compatibility. Talk about conflict, how conflict is handled, communication style, willingness to apologize. You must also learn to do what? Apologize. You say somebody, you don't know how to apologize, he just buy you gift. It's a dangerous place to be. That guy, he's a sweet guy, but he doesn't know how to apologize. He just buy you gift. Don't buy iPhone 17 wey don give you blue for eye. And just to say, maybe you are here and somebody is beating you, or you hear this message and somebody is beating you in the relationship, and you are praying. If it's the voice of God, God say I should tell you that He says you should leave the relationship. If you have been asking God to tell you, He's speaking through me now, He says you do what? Leave the relationship. Person wey slap you for courtship go dagger you for marriage. So emotional compatibility. Number five, character compatibility. Integrity, discipline, accountability, growth mindset. Integrity. Imagine dating somebody in church, where church will give you money to go and buy something of 5,000, you will come back and inflate it to 6,000. Say, ah, where man dey work, na there man dey chop. Ananias and Sapphira. So character compatibility. See, there are Christians that are so they are badly behaved. They can't see Nigeria is too religious for the kind of corruption we have in this country. We are too religious for it. Go and check people who run with ballot box yesterday, who stole yesterday. Go and check them. Some of them will be in church today. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. We are badly behaved. People in the office to get promotion, they will sleep with their boss and then come to church. Hey, small girl, big God. We know that the big God is not the God of heaven. He's your boss in the office. So people are bad. You go to organizations that even Christians, they will even want to kill other Christians. And we read about A. Allen. In God's general, it was said that he died because of alcohol. But later on, the doctor came up and said that he poisoned A. Allen. The video is online. That's how I can say it. Came up, he spoke to A. Allen's father or something. He said it was another church organization that paid him to kill A. Allen. Because the video has been online since like 5 years ago. So you see Christians, there are people who call themselves Christians. That's why I said you can be a born again but you're not a Christian. You can have the life of God but you don't live like Christ because they begin to call them Christians in Antioch because of the way they are behaving. So some people are believers but you cannot marry them. They are believing the gospel but the way they are behaving or every bad behavior is in their hand. They steal, they lie, they cheat. One person, you have 4 girlfriends or 5 girlfriends. But how are you managing it? Only one person. So there are people who are not Christians. Is it the mic? Say they go finish, load the volume finish. I'm closer. Like this, are they closer like this? Okay. Character compatibility, integrity, discipline, accountability, growth. I was going to talk about sexual compatibility, but I'm going to talk say because all of us here, I'm not sure everybody here, I know reach 18. Are you 18? So some people used to argue and say that there's something like sexual compatibility. So I'm just going to say, break it down like this. If you are already be engaging in sexual innuendos before, I'll be able to take color. I get married to somebody who has not been involving in those kind of things. The price you pay for doing what God asked you not to do is for you to wait until the person gets to your level. That's the price you pay for it. All this, I have to taste it to know how the person can turn to triangle. God's intention was that all of us will come to marriage, and that's when we have our first experience. But now that you have violated the intention of God, it will now be your responsibility to wait for that person to get to your level. So what this, how will I know if the person can do Jackie Chan or Jet Li? You wait in marriage. How do I know if the person is functioning well? Your house is not hospital. Take the person to the hospital. They can test them there. They have hospital, they can test them if their womb is working. I want to know, I want to impregnate them first to check if the womb is working. Oga, go hospital. Babawalada, they go hospital there. And I want to know if the guy, you go to hospital and make all those checks. So if you have been engaging in it before and now you are afraid that the person may not be at your level, your responsibility now is to wait for the person to get to your level. That's not your own responsibility. Hmm? So on that, on sexual compatibility. Now, signs that you may be forcing oneness. Signs that you may be forcing oneness. Number one, number one, you constantly justify red flags. Person slap you once, you go say, no, nah, he was just angry. His hand was just scratching him. He say, let him place it on my jaw, on my cheek. No, nah, it's not like that. They blow you for eye, you begin wear glasses. Wetin do you? I get Apollo. Hey, you constantly what? Justify red flags. Someone does not care about you, but you're always making excuses for the person. It's because you constantly justify red flags. That's number one sign that you are forcing what? Oneness. Number two, you feel anxious more than secure. You feel anxious more than secure. You're always anxious. When you're with the person, you cannot always be free. You cannot say your mind because any small thing they are angry. You are not you are not always free to say your mind because any small thing they are what? They are angry. You feel anxious more than secure. Number three, you hope marriage will feel your major differences. You hope marriage will fix your major differences. You hope marriage will fix your major differences. You hope marriage will fix your major differences. You know, there are some people who say, don't worry, we'll change the marriage. Don't worry, don't worry. I know that it will change. I said it last week, oh, marriage will amplify every bad behavior that you have. So marriage does not automatically come with a brain to fix things. You must learn to do what? To take responsibility. So you see somebody badly behave, you say, ah, don't worry, we will change the marriage. Somebody is nagging now, maybe times one. In marriage, don't worry, you see times five. So you are hoping that marriage will fix your major differences. Number four, you silence your conviction to keep peace. You silence your conviction to keep peace. The bride is forcing you to have sex and you say, nah, let me just do it now. If that's what will make him to marry me, why would God now bring another one? You cannot get God's blessings by your own energy. I usually talk about the story of Isaac and Ishmael, how that Ishmael was man's effort and Isaac is God's what? Effort. So you cannot get God's blessings by what? By using human efforts. I prayed, God brought the brother. Yes, I confirm it that the brother is of the Lord. But this brother is of the Lord now, saying, come, let me lay you flat on the floor. You do what? You run. You run. Just see, human being will have our will. Even if God said this brother or this sister is the person, but the person refuse to will himself, you can unwill the person. You can do what? Unwill. If the person is moving around the things, the values that contradict the word of God, you can do what? Unwill yourself from that willingness. You can do what? Unwill yourself from it. So you silence your conviction to keep peace. You cannot pray compatibility into existence with the wrong person. You cannot pray compatibility into existence with the wrong person. See, no matter how many seminars you attend, no matter how many key points they give to you, if you are with the wrong person, it cannot work. To be honest, some people together is just the wrong set of people to be together. You cannot pray compatibility into existence with the wrong person. I want to give you self-evaluation checklist. Check whether you are in the wrong relationship or not. Number one, spiritual. Do I respect my partner's spiritual journey? Ask yourself. Or does your partner respect your own? You say you are fasting for 2 days now. You people are not married though. But say you should come to the house to come and do what God cannot do. Do I respect my partner's spiritual journey? Number two, on values. Can we resolve financial disagreement fairly? Can we what? Resolve financial disagreement fairly? Your guy that said he's earning 150K. Now you cut him, he's earning 650. And every day he's lying to you, he's 150. Meanwhile, you are stealing garri from your mommy's house to go and give to him. Hey, ọnụ n'anya, ekwensu n'ọnụ n'anya ha. You are in battle, you are in battle in this world. So, can we resolve financial disagreement fairly? All the garri wey don thief, you don find out say na 650 dey earn. And you found out that he bought one wristwatch for one babe like that. And he say, we are just friends. Speak in tongues. Hey, vision. Our life goals aligned. Life goals aligned. Say you just want to stay in Nigeria for 2 years. After 2 years, he's going to Ukraine. You say no. God says you go to Zamfara for missionary journey. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh. Our life goals aligned. Number four, emotional. Do I feel safe sharing my true feelings? Do I feel safe sharing my true feelings? Your mouth is smelling this morning. What happened? What do you mean? I'm the head of, I'm the man. Oh, we say my mouth is smelling. Whether you are the man or you are a chicken, your mouth is smelling. We say your mouth is smelling. Do I feel safe sharing my true feeling? Character, which is number five. Do I trust my partner in small and big decisions? Every time he will bring a business deal, You pack the money they gave to you on the one you have been saving, you give to him. 3 times or 4 times business deal. Na mumu business. Go invest in all these scamming things. Put 1,000 to collect 10,000, put 10,000. Can I trust my partner in small and big decisions? Now, if you are 4 or 5-5, like your answer is you score 4/5 or 5/5, you're in a strong relationship, a good one. Now, if your answer is 3, you're in a moderate, you need discussion. If your answer is 1 or 2, you dey for high risk relationship, high tension, high risk, e requires intervention. So this, I don't know if there's any question or any answer, any question for what I have said today. Monday, sorry, Monday, any question? Let's say this serious with this test too. Any question? All right. In the absence of none, can we just rise up on our feet and give God thanks for His word? In the absence of none, let's thank God for His word today as we bring this series to an end. We pray